Welcome! Today we're going to talk about this awesome 2023 Audi E-Tron Sportback that we have for sale. This is a Premium Plus model. Audi's amazing, fully electric, sporty crossover. The Sportback is a little bit more of a fastback, a little more sporty styling than the regular E-Tron. This is a nice, spacious luxury SUV, and it's kind of unique as far as classification goes, because to me it doesn't feel quite as big as the Model X, which is probably a vehicle that this will probably be compared to as well as the Model Y. It seems more along the size of a Model Y, but the thing about the E-Tron Sportback is that it's a little bit more high-end than the Model Y. A couple of years ago, maybe you felt special when you had a Model Y because there weren't that many on the road. People would ask you questions about it, you'd compliment it, but today the Model Y is the best-selling car in the world, beating the Toyota Corolla. So every day I see more and more on the road. It's a great vehicle. I own a Tesla myself. I have a Model 3. There's a ton of them out there. And even a year ago when I had my Model 3, I felt a little bit special, but now I see so many Teslas on the road. As much as I love my Tesla, I don't feel special at all. I mean, it's almost like they're like Toyota Camrys or RAV4s, how many you see on the road. So you might be comparing this to the Tesla Model Y or the Model X. The thing about the E-Tron, I guess, from a Tesla owner or someone who's driven a lot of Teslas as well, all different models, is it definitely has more of a traditional Audi feel. So if you don't like the big, tech dive, the big tech jump going to a Tesla, the learning curve, especially like the Model Y and having to operate everything through a tablet, this is a lot more. It's pretty much operating this as just about the same as operating a regular gas-powered Audi. You have an on and off switch. The switches and all that stuff the operation is very similar to a traditional gas-powered Audi, but with a completely electric performance. This thing is very quick. It makes about 350 horsepower, a little over 400 pound-feet of torque. But when you put it in sport mode, it has a overboost feature, which can give you an extra 400 horsepower and up to 500 pound-feet of torque for a short amount of time for amazing bursts of acceleration. So this thing is very fast and very smooth. Maybe we'll take it for a little spin around the block towards the end of this video. We have the original build sheet on this one, and you can see this is definitely more high-end than a Model Y. Original MSRP is $82,670. The Model Ys are usually like $50,000, $60,000. So this definitely is more high-end. You have more of a premium luxury car feel with this Audi than you do with a Model 3 or a Model Y. And you could even say so more than the Model X. The Model X kind of has a little bit of a different styled interior, but this one definitely feels along the lines of a luxury Audi product to me, if that's what you're familiar with. So this has a few optional odds and ends. It has a Premium Plus package that was $7,000, giving you adaptive cruise control assist with lane guidance, Audi phone box with wireless charging and signal booster, Bang & Olufsen premium sound system with 3D sound, heated rear seats and ventilated front seats, LED interior lighting package, matrix design LED headlights, power lumbar for passenger seat, second charging port passenger side, and top view camera and traffic sign recognition. And then we have the E-Tron beam front and rear, $475. Basically it beams lights down on the ground when you open it for a cool ambient effect. And of course we can print you out a copy or email you one if you want to peruse it yourself. Nice big panoramic roof. Also opens. Tesla doesn't actually have sunroofs that open anymore. They completely deleted them from all their vehicles. They just have glass roof panels. So if you want an actual sunroof that can open, an E-Tron might be more of the vehicle for you. Lots of storage as well. We have this completely digital screen right here to operate the climate control system, heated and ventilated seats. Pretty straightforward. We have this great camera system. You can also have this 3D view, making low speed maneuvering very easy. Gauge cluster is pretty straightforward as well, very similar to what you have in an Audi product, because it's an Audi. And the thing of electric vehicles is it's not only money that you'll be saving on gas, but it's also money that you'll be saving on maintenance. That's the thing that people, I don't think, fully realize when switching to an EV. Electric vehicles are far less complex, far less moving parts. You're going from thousands of moving parts to dozens, so there's no exhaust system, no oil to change, no engine coolant, no catalytic converters to steal, no head gaskets to go bad. Gas engines are very complex, and they require maintenance. Every time you go to the Audi dealership, they'll probably, oh, you need to do an induction and EFI service to clean your fuel system. You're not going to have to do it with this Q8. They might recommend, oh, having to do an all-wheel drive differential change, the service the all-wheel drive system, the mechanical all-wheel drive system in your gas-powered Audi, which can be expensive. Sometimes they recommend that like up to every 30 to 60,000 miles. That's something you're not going to be dealing with this, because it just has electric motors to operate the all-wheel drive system. A little extra storage under there, space-saving spare tire, cargo area cover, power rear liftgate, as you can see. So basically, when you have an EV, maintenance is just tires, wiper blades, cabin filter. That's pretty much it. With regenerative braking, you're going to get probably 150 plus thousand miles out of the brakes. And brakes can be expensive in an Audi. Like brakes on an RS5 can be $2,000 to $3,000. Believe me, we've had a lot of RS5s, and as a used car manager, I got to put these cars through the shop, and I need to see what they need and approve or disapprove what work to do on them. Luckily with EVs, there's hardly any work to do. So yeah, my whole I've had a Tesla for about a year, and it's pretty much just wiper blades and a cabin filters. The only maintenance I've done to it. And then the money you save on gas. I mean, I went to fill up my van with gas, and it was about over $100, $5 a gallon. So if I was commuting in my van, which wouldn't make sense to drive a big van just to commute to work, I'd be spending over $100 a week in gas. Instead, with my EV, I'm spending about $50 a month of electricity. Your house is a charging station. Your house is a gas station. And if you set up 220 charging, you can get a full charge as little as 4 or 5 hours, just plugging it into your house. So you charge overnight. It's like an electric toothbrush. When you're done with it, you put it on a charger. When you're ready to use it again, it's fully charged. And you can fast charge, but honestly, unless you do a lot of road tripping, the fast charging will be few and far between. I've only fast charged my Tesla a couple times since I've owned it, just because most of the time I'm commuting with it or driving around town, going up to Seattle. Not that far, so I have plenty of range to do what I need to do and get back home. If you do need to fast charge it with 150 kilowatt charging, you can get a full charge. Well, not a full charge, you can charge to about 80% at a fast charge with 150 kilowatt charging in about a half hour. So this is also possible to road trip on it. You just need to plan ahead. But a vehicle like this definitely would benefit more from being more of a commuter everyday vehicle. You save on gas and maintenance, and then you have a bigger SUV or truck where you can use for road tripping, camping, towing, stuff like that, and you can save the wear and tear on your bigger vehicle. All right, let's take this thing for a little spin. All right, here we go. We're taking this 2023 Audi Q8 e-tron out for a little spin. And immediately, the one thing I noticed when getting behind any electric vehicle, especially a luxury one like this, is how smooth and quiet it is. How linear the power delivery is. Even with an amazing gas-powered Audi, they have a fantastic powertrain. You can feel the engine vibrating. You can hear the engine. You can feel the transmission changing gears. Where this one, it's a lot smoother and linear. There's only one gear, so there's no gear changes. There's no shift shock. It's completely smooth and power delivery. It's like a slot car pretty much. This thing is a lot of fun to drive. We have a drive mode selector right here. The sportiest setting is dynamic, so we'll put it in dynamic. And it looks like we also have an adjustable air suspension as well. Didn't realize that. Pretty nice. And I can definitely feel how well this thing goes over speed bumps. Just going over that speed bump right there. This nice air suspension absorbs these bumps very nicely. Or on a vehicle like the Model Y, which you might be comparing to this to, there's no air suspension. You'd have to move up to the Model X to have an air suspension. You'll notice it does make some low-speed noises, and that's just for pedestrian protection, because the car is so quiet. They have to make artificial noises because it'll be really easy for someone just to walk right out in front of you and get hit by it just because it's how quiet it is. But once you get up to a certain speed, those artificial sounds go away. Sounds kind of cool. I almost feel like I'm in a sci-fi movie with those engine sounds. I don't know if you can hear it on camera. It's kind of subtle. Maybe I'll boost the volume right here in the video just so you can hear it. Sounds pretty cool. But yeah, very smooth, very quiet. And it has a little bit of weight to it, you know, just keeping it real. The batteries weigh a lot. It's going to weigh more than a comparable, you know, Q8, gas-powered Q8, which its platform is based on. But the way the engineers tune the chassis, they do a good job hiding all that weight. And since it's slung down so low, it has an extremely low center of gravity, so it actually helps it kind of feel planted and handles really nicely in the corners with very little body roll at all. And I think this probably has a lower rollover risk than the comparable gas-powered Audi, because those batteries, the weight of them is just kind of like an anchor that's so low to the ground. All right, all clear. Yep, no issue at all getting up to 60 miles an hour. Pretty non-dramatic. And then the thing too about EVs is just the instantaneous power delivery. Like if I was in a gas-powered Audi and I wanted to mash on the gas, there'd be a split second where the if I mashed the gas pedal down, there'd be a momentary pause while the gears kind of hunt for which gear to put it in, and then the engine will rev up to a proper power band. Where an electric vehicle, you hit the throttle and it's just instantaneous power delivery. It's you can't compare the power delivery of an electric vehicle to any gas vehicle. There's just no comparison. Just power delivery with EVs is just you can't compare them. It's just instantaneous power delivery. And after driving an EV and going back to a gas car, it's almost torturous waiting for you know. I was like, wait, I can feel the gears changing, I can feel the engine vibrating, I can feel all this shuddering and moving and jerking, which is obviously very subtle, but once you drive it back to back with an EV though, there's no comparison. And you can see why, you know, people, you know, like EVs, not just for saving gas, but just how well they how well electric motors and batteries work in a car, whether it's performance or efficiency. Well, that pretty much sums up our little spin in this Audi E-Tron Sportback, based on the Q8 Sportback. Thanks so much for taking the time today to watch this video. Hopefully see you soon and have a wonderful day.